welcome to the third episode of the series Data Engineering Tech Stack on AWS. Today we are going to check how to install Redshift on AWS, and then we'll write a simple DAG to bring data from Postgres into Redshift. So let's get started. Okay, so first of all, let's spin up a Redshift cluster. So we can just go to AWS console, type Redshift. Let's create a cluster. I already have a cluster, so it's paused. I'll just create a new one. Let's go to cluster, create cluster. We'll define some basic settings. I will select for now a small instance. Let's select DC to large. Let's select one node only. So we are spinning up a Redshift cluster on AWS. I will just create a password. We will need this password later, so let's also save this password. Let me just give a simple password to begin with. Okay. Scroll down. Do I need a IAM role for now? No. Let's move ahead. Everything looks okay. Very simple configuration. Later on we will add some parameter settings and other things. Let's do that as well. Okay, let me change the password. I think they need a password with one uppercase letter. Okay, we'll see. Let's change it. Okay, so this is the password. We'll save it as well. Okay, so we're creating the cluster. Take a few minutes. We'll be back once this is done. Okay, let's also save the password somewhere. So we'll need it in our connection settings on Airflow as well as on DBeaver, where we will be checking all the underlying tables. Okay, now we have to make a small change in the parameter group. I've created a parameter group. So basically I have to disable the SSL because I'm testing it locally. So this setting should not affect anything. Yeah, however in production we may require SSL whenever needed. So it's false. This is the new parameter group I've created. We will be applying this parameter group in our Redshift cluster that we have just provisioned. Okay. Let's go to Redshift. Let's go to properties. The default Redshift 2.0. We'll change the parameter. We'll select the Redshift 2, which we just checked now. Okay, so this is applied. The status is still unavailable, but it's spinning up, so it should be available any minute. So let's try the connection in DBeaver. So we'll create a new connection. Let's create a Redshift connection. Put in the first name, AWS user, the password which we had just saved. Okay, let's try. Okay, it's connected. Fine. So we can see the database as well as the div. Database, inside that there will be schemas. Okay, so now what we are going to do, so we will copy the DDL of Postgres table and then we will paste it in Redshift because we need this in order for our DAG to create, basically copy data from Postgres to Redshift. It needs this schema to be present, schema of the table to be present in Redshift as well. So we'll go to Redshift. Let's create the same table over there. Done. Table is created. Now we have to create a DAG. So basically this DAG will copy data from Postgres to Redshift. So let me explain a couple of things here. So how this is going to exactly work is we'll be copying data from Postgres, putting it into S3, and then from S3 we will be copying it over to Redshift. So we'll also need a S3 bucket for this case. So for now I will just copy over the same code. I have just not the same code, I have saved a code and I will be pasting that in the description as well later. So let me just create a copy and I'll just paste the entire code here, and we'll just modify a couple of things in the code. Name it test2. Okay, so this is my code. Paste it over here. So I've defined the Postgres connection ID, Redshift connection ID, if you see row number 11 and 12. So these are basically the connections that we will be defining in Airflow. And then we need the S3 bucket. I've just given it a name and the file that it will be creating, intermediate file basically that we need. Okay. Let's go here. We'll create the Redshift connection first. It's exactly same what we did in dbeaver. Basically, it's the same connection. We put the host name, database, user ID, password. I'll just copy it from here. We can also save it. The password I just saved earlier. Let's use that password. The password I saved from earlier. Let's save the password. Save the connection. The connection is created. Okay. We also need the S3 bucket that I was showing. So I have already created the S3 bucket. I was trying to test with some DAGs earlier, so the file must also be there. Yeah. So we'll be working with orders table. So even if this file is there, it doesn't matter, but I'll just clean it up. So we can just delete it. Basically, we are working with orders table. So it will be created under the orders folder. Okay. We need orders table. I just made small changes. The connection is done. Okay, I'm just checking a couple of things. Everything looks okay. We are using S3 to Redshift operator. That looks okay. Okay, one last thing we have to do is use the access key, because we also need to connect to S3. So I'll define a AWS default connection ID. So this will be used to copy data from S3 to Redshift, also from Postgres to Redshift, Postgres to S3. Okay, let's run the DAG and see if everything works fine. Okay, now we should be able to see the data in this table. Let's select in Redshift table, the table we had just created without any data, and that's it. So we got data from Postgres. So this is how this works. It's a simple example of a data engineering tech stack on AWS using Postgres, Airflow, and Redshift. We will be exploring more tech stacks and data engineering concepts in future videos. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe.